Hey guys, Think and Grow Rich is a landmark book by Napoleon Hill that teaches people how to actually become millionaires. And it's created so many millionaires over the years that it would be terrible of me not to actually mention and talk through this book and explain some of the principles and chapters that are so pivotal and have actually influenced me so much in the past. So really the first chapter in the book is about desire, and this video is going to explain what that means and how to actually navigate that. Burning desire. The principle that's espoused by Napoleon Hill in this chapter is a concept called definiteness of purpose. You see, Mr. Edwin C. Barnes was a rags to riches story. This guy that was determined to enter into business partner with Thomas Edison. He desired it so deeply that he was willing to stake his entire existence on getting that partnership. And without any means of transportation, he traveled by blind baggage. It means he jumped on a train with no money, and rather than be defeated, with which most people in this situation would probably just give up and say, well, I have no way even getting to see Thomas Edison. He said, I will find a way if there is a way. And he stood before Thomas Edison in rags and truly thought his way into a partnership. Now, when he first started off here, he wasn't a working partner. He started off with some menial jobs, but Thomas Edison, when he saw this guy in his office, though he didn't look like a professional businessman or anything extraordinary, he had this look in his eye, which was that determination, and that's what convinced Thomas Edison to hire him on. And eventually, his persistence was so great that he managed to distribute the Edison dictating machine across the nation. Barnes had no money, no education, no influence, and yet he had this incredible determination and the willingness to win at all costs. He would stop at nothing to get what his desire was. So imagine taking that kind of an attitude to your own life. What could you achieve if you were willing to persist at all costs to achieve your burning desire? Success consciousness. Failure comes to those that have a failure consciousness, while success comes to those that have a success consciousness. Henry Ford, and this is illustrated with an incredible story from Henry Ford. When he produced the V8 motor, he tasked his engineers to create a single block casted V8 engine. The engineers said it was impossible to do it, and Ford instructed them to proceed anyways and stay on the job until they completed, no matter what, or how long it took. After 1 year, the engineers tried every conceivable plan and determined, nope, still impossible. Ford said, go ahead, I want it and I'll have it. They went ahead and by some miracle, guys, they achieved it. So the next time that somebody tells you something's impossible, think about the V8 engine. Think about those engineers who said it's impossible, but Ford was so determined. He said, I want it and I'll have it. Whatever goal or task or desire that you have, if you say, I want it and I'll have it and I'll stop at nothing until I achieve it, that's the mindset of a winner. That's the mindset of success. And that'll attract so much riches and fortunes to you if you can just adopt that mindset. This is from Napoleon Hill and has created millionaires upon millionaires. And before Napoleon Hill, he got this information from Andrew Carnegie, who was the wealthiest man in the world at one time in history. And so really just dwell on these principles and put them into practice, and you'll be so surprised at what they can actually do. Money magnetism. So our brains become magnetized with our dominant thoughts. And in developing an intense desire for riches, we can become money conscious. That means that until the desire for obtaining money drives us to create definite plans for acquiring it, we're not at that level of desire. So you got to wake up and go to bed and feel like you have to create something incredible. You have to have that burning desire that is going to drive you to create the plan to actually do it. And it's not just a hope. It's not just a wish. It's a keen, pulsating desire that transcends everything else in your life. There's one thing in this world you must be determined to have, and you'll burn all bridges to get it. That's the attitude of winning. That's the attitude of success and creating money, whether it's creating money online or in business or learning a new skill and having that constant motivation to do it. You have to be willing to burn all bridges. Sacrifice everything to get it. Be willing to burn all ships. Cut the sources so you have no retreat, no plan B. There's no turning back. We must take the shore. Napoleon talks about 6 practical steps. Fix in your mind the exact amount of money you want. Determine what you will give in exchange for money. What this means is what kind of time, what kind of commitment and effort, what sacrifices are you willing to exchange in order to get it? And really the answer here, guys, is everything. Establish a definite date in the future when you intend to obtain the money. Write down that date and fixate on it. Remember in our $500 challenge, I said in 2 weeks I will get $500 and I'm willing to give up my entire holiday. Every single afternoon, every single evening, I work a 9-to-5 job, but when I come home, I focus intently on this burning desire. Develop a plan to obtain the money and begin immediately with massive action behind it. So the plan that we talked about in a couple of these videos is how am I going to market, who I'm going to market to, write down the days, what you're going to do every day, your to-do list, your organized plan to actually create that and make that a reality. And then summarize with a statement the amount of time and plan for obtaining the money. Read that statement. This is a powerful principle twice daily. First thing in the morning and last thing at night. And see, feel, and believe you are already in possession of the money. These principles can radically change every single component of your success when it comes to making money. Visualizing yourself at the end in possession of that money fuels motivation, fuels your desire. And there's something powerful that happens when we fill our mind with that consciousness of obtaining a goal specifically around money. Fixating on a definite date, having a plan, executing that plan, motivation, desire, action, strategy, all of these work together to help us create that new reality for ourselves. And there's a magic that's in this formula, which is part of the secret. It's part of what Napoleon Hill hints at in every single chapter. And it's just holding that thought in your mind and truly thinking and growing rich. Persist until. So one more story from the chapter on desire that really is illustrative of what this actually can do. Every seed of failure brings with it an equivalent seed of success. There's no such thing as failure. Desire backed by faith is part of this secret. Persisting and persistent desire can induce nature to alter itself and literally, guys, produce miracles. Napoleon Hill's son was born without any physical signs of ears. He was projected to be deaf and mute his entire life. Doctors believed that there was no way that he would ever be able to live a normal life. So Napoleon Hill naturally puts his philosophy into practice, and he instilled in his son the belief and a burning desire that one day he would in fact hear. He tried every method possible, and lo and behold, on his 18th birthday, he received a hearing aid, and his hearing was restored to as good as anyone else around him. Imagine that. Somebody that was destined their entire life to have no hearing could have gave up, could have never taken any steps to actually improve hearing and try to learn and try to be part of it, live a normal life. Instead, Napoleon focused on his burning desire and his goal. Something that was literally physically and naturally impossible became a reality. So, read the chapter, focus on these principles and put them into practice. Follow those 6 steps and set your goal, get your burning desire, and be willing to stake your entire existence on its attainment. If you guys like this video, leave me a comment, like the video, and subscribe to my channel for more insane wealth building content published every single week.